Hello and welcome to Easy Money with Don Anders. I have David McKnight here. He's a best-selling author of The Power of Zero and same movie, The Power of Zero, The Tax Train is Coming. And we're talking about taxes, right? We did a video on when is Joe Biden going to raise taxes. We also did another video on why tax rates could double. We're going to link both of those up above. But now let's talk about tax-free alternatives. So taxes are going up. Let's say let's just assume, I know we're not, but let's just assume we're all on the same page there. And let's say that we know tax rates are going up. And so we want to go ahead and take advantage of low tax rates now. Can you give us some alternatives for your traditional investments? Because most of our lives, we're told, we'll put everything into an IRA or a 401k as much as you can, as long as you can. So what you're saying is kind of contradicting that a little bit. And I would agree, I've done videos on that as well, that IRAs and 401ks are not always the best solutions. So can you give us some other alternatives to those traditional trains of thought on what to do?
Yeah. I've long advocated that putting money into a 401k or an IRA is a little bit like going into a business partnership with the IRS. And every year the IRS gets to vote on what percentage of your profits they get to keep. Not a great business partnership to be in. Give you an example. You could have $1 million in your IRA, but unless you can accurately predict what tax rates are going to be in the year you take that money out, you don't really know how much money you have. And it's hard to plan for retirement if you don't know how much money you have. And so the premise of my book, The Power of Zero, the subtitle, How to Get to the 0% Tax Bracket and Transform Your Retirement, is the only way to truly insulate yourself from the impact of higher taxes is to get to the 0% tax bracket. Why? Because if you're in the 0% tax bracket and the tax rate's double, 2 times 0 is still 0. And so like you, Don, I've been in the business for a long time. I've been doing this for over 22 years. I've helped put thousands of Americans on the road to the 0% tax bracket. I've noticed something very interesting. It is nearly impossible to get to the 0% tax bracket by utilizing just one stream of tax-free income. To get to the 0% tax bracket typically requires between 4 and 6 different streams of tax-free income, none of which show up on the IRS's radar, but all of which contribute to you being in the 0% tax bracket. And I'm a huge advocate of having multiple streams of tax-free income, because all of the streams of tax-free income that the IRS has provided to us have different attributes that make them unique. And when you can get those different puzzle pieces hooked together in just the right way, then the 0% tax bracket comes into focus. So let's start off talking about some of my very favorite tax-free investments. I love, for example, the Roth IRA. The Roth IRA is a truly tax-free investment. And when I say truly tax-free, I got to qualify that. What makes an investment truly tax-free? First, it's got to be truly tax-free. And what do I mean by that? It means it's got to be free from federal tax, state tax, capital gains tax. Okay. The second thing I'm looking for in a truly tax-free investment is distributions from that investment should not count as provisional income, which means they should not count against the thresholds which cause Social Security taxation. So what I'm about to disclose is what I believe are the 5 or 6 different streams of truly tax-free income. The first one's a Roth IRA. I love Roth IRAs because they're truly tax-free, but also I love Roth IRAs because they're very liquid. When you put the money in, whether it's $6,000 per year under age 50 or $7,000 per year over age 50, you can take that money out whenever you want. So it's a truly liquid type of account. So that's the first thing. The second thing is I love the Roth 401k. The Roth 401k is great because you put money in, you can max that thing out, and it has much larger contribution limits than the Roth IRA. You take that money out tax-free, but you can also get an employer match. So you can get free money out of the deal, right? And that's a really huge benefit because you're getting that company match. And why wouldn't you want free money to be able to participate in that program? There's currently some legislation working its way through Congress that would allow you to have the match contributed to the Roth 401k portion of your account, instead of having that money going into the, as has been traditionally been the case, going into your 401k account, which is in your tax deferred bucket. They're going to be potentially allowing you to put that contribution into your tax-free bucket, which means that you can have even more money going in year over year over year. I love For example, the Roth conversion. The Roth conversion is the real workhorse when it comes to getting to the 0% tax bracket. Why? Because you can move nearly unlimited amounts of assets from your tax deferred bucket to your tax free bucket. What do I mean by that? Well, let's say you have, like Mitt Romney, you have $100 million in your IRA. Well, if Mitt Romney felt so inclined, he could shift all 100 million of those dollars to tax free, so long as he's willing to pay the taxes on that Roth conversion along the way. So you can move nearly unlimited amounts of money from the tax deferred to tax free bucket. So it's a real workhorse. I also like this idea of being able to utilize your standard deduction in retirement to offset the taxes on your required minimum distributions coming out of your IRAs and 401ks. To me, that's the most. That's what I call what do I call it? I call it the holy grail. The holy grail. I call it the holy grail of tax-free planning. Why? Because when you put money into your 401k or IRA, you got a deduction on the front end. It grew tax deferred, and then by utilizing your standard deduction, you can take that money out tax-free. There isn't anything else out there that allows you to do that except for a 529 plan, and that has some strings attached to it. So love being able to have the ideal balance in the tax deferred bucket so that RMDs coming out of there are offset by your standard deduction. What else do we have? We have something called the life insurance retirement plan, which is essentially a fully funded life insurance policy. One of the things that makes that truly unique is not only does your money grow tax-free, not only can you take that money out tax-free if you take it out the right way, but your death benefit, which is part of the cost of admission for having this tax-free bucket, your death benefit can double as long-term care, which means that life insurance companies will give you your death benefit in advance of your death for the purpose of paying for long-term care, which of course is in contrast to traditional long-term care insurance, where you pay for 30 years and die peaceful in your sleep, never having used it, and they don't send your money back at the end. In this scenario, if you die peacefully in your sleep 30 years from now, never having needed long-term care, someone's still getting a death benefit, probably your kids. And then finally, if you can, by utilizing all of these various streams of tax-free income, stay below your provisional income thresholds. And remember, provisional income is the income the IRS tracks to determine if they're going to tax your Social Security. That's $34,000 for a single person. It's $44,000 for a married couple. At that point, your Social Security gets taxed, 85% of it gets taxed at your highest marginal tax bracket. Keep your provisional income low enough, then all of a sudden your Social Security is tax-free. That's a real big deal. So you have tax-free IRA, tax-free Roth 401k, tax-free Roth IRA, tax-free Roth 401k, tax-free Roth conversion, tax-free LIRP, tax-free IRA by utilizing your standard deduction, a tax-free LIRP, life insurance retirement plan. And if you have all of those that stay below the provisional income thresholds, then your Social Security is tax-free. And that puts you in the 0% tax bracket. I think the 0% tax bracket is a pretty big deal, because if tax rates double, 2 times 0 is still 0.
Well, people ask me all the time when they come in for retirement plans, what's the scariest thing when putting together a retirement plan? It is not at all when investment performance, because we can plan for that, right? We can plan if we have even a depression. It is not at all longevity. We can plan for that. There's annuities, there's pensions, there's things like that. What scares me are taxes, because if somebody has $1 million, like you said, I don't know if that $1 million is worth 900,000 or if it's worth 600,000 or 500,000. We don't know. So these 6 tips I think are fantastic. So you have the Roth IRA, the Roth 401k. Those are for while you're working, right? Roth conversions can be done while you're working or after, correct? You don't have to have earned income for that. And you can convert as much as you want, like you said. And then the life insurance retirement plan, that's a great benefit if you have money that's sitting non-qualified that can't be converted. You can put it in there. So for instance, just today, I did a review with a client. They had $300,000 that was sitting in just their checking and savings, and they didn't need it. We put it into a life insurance retirement plan. Day one, day one, it turned into $670,000 for both long-term care and a tax-free death benefit for their kids. So I think all of those are a great plan. And if you're looking at getting to that 0% tax bracket, or you want more information, I highly recommend that you go ahead and pick up David's book. It's fantastic. We're going to go ahead and put the link below, and then you can also visit his website as well. I appreciate you sharing all this, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you want more information about retirement and investing, making money easy, you can go ahead and click here. Or if you'd like to subscribe, it really helps the channel. And then you also get updates when we release new information. You can click here to do that. Thank you so much. Hope you have a great day.